Hello, my name is Mrs. Humphreys, and I'd love to introduce you to my hero, a proud veteran of the United States Army, Aaron Combs.
Hello, Rancho Christian. I am retired U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Aaron Combs. I am Coach Humphrey's father and Mama Combs' husband. Thank you all for inviting me to the 2025 Rancho Christian Veterans Day celebration. Why did I decide to join the Army? For me, that answer is both personal and spiritually guided. Back in 1997, when I joined the Army, I clearly understood what I was signing up for. Yet, my motivation was simply to be better for my young daughter and wife. Joining the Army was simply my way of establishing a decent and steady foundation for which to raise my family. And I do believe that it was God's plan for us to go that route. But my decision to serve wasn't just about my immediate family. It was also influenced by a deep sense of tradition rooted in both mine and my wife's families. Military service had been embraced by generations long before us. Both of our grandfathers served, her mom served, my father served, my little brother served, and numerous uncles on both sides served. I see God's hand in our continued commitment to his noble tradition, with his divine guidance shaping the values of service, leadership, and sacrifice that we hold dear. Over the past 28 years, my reasons for continuing to serve have evolved and grown, shaped by the unique experiences that I've encountered. For instance, serving as a combat advisor in Iraq, I served to ensure that each one of my teammates made it home safely. While we each knew that our mission was rooted in the fight for freedom, our focus was intensely personal. We each had families to return to.
Being a military child was not always easy. It came with sadness, uncertainty, and even at times some fear. But God did not give us a spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of power, love, and of a sound mind. Values that were continually instilled in me by my father, mother, and my military community.
I can vividly recall turning to God in those intense moments before and after each mission. My prayers were always centered on one simple but profound request: divine protection over my 10 teammates as we faced uncertainty. However, each time we returned safely, I was reminded of his endless mercy and grace, affirming that our strength and protection are gifts from God. Serving as a casualty officer presented a different kind of honor and responsibility. I served to bring closure to families of lost service members, some of whom had waited over 70 years for their loved ones' remains to be identified and returned home from World War II. Escorting these families through full military honors at Arlington National Cemetery was one of the most humbling duties I've ever had, and it reminded me of the profound sacrifices made by those who came before us. In those moments, I was guided by the belief that I was doing God's work, providing comfort, peace, and dignity to grieving families as they honored the memory of their loved ones. Today, my mission may look different than when I was in uniform, but it is no less important. In my current job, I serve as an enterprise senior IT advisor and team lead for the Information Technology Operations Center within the Defense Intelligence Agency. We are the cornerstone of IT operations designed to manage the dynamic and rapidly evolving landscape of information technology on a global scale. Operating 24/7, 365, my team plays a critical role in maintaining the stability, security, and continuity of IT services worldwide, ensuring continuous support for mission critical operations that affect the safety and security of our nation. While my role as an enterprise senior IT advisor differs from my military service, it still aligns closely with the values I held during my time in uniform: commitment to mission accomplishment, teamwork, and the protection of critical assets. My experiences as a veteran have deeply informed how I approach my work today. The discipline, strategic thinking, and adaptability that were honed during my time in uniform have become invaluable assets when dealing with complex situations. My journey of service has been one deeply intertwined with my faith, a faith that has been tested, strengthened, and sometimes challenged along the way. From the moment I raised my right hand and took the oath of enlistment, I knew I wasn't alone. God was with me, guiding me, giving me strength through every challenge I faced. But as time went on, there were moments when my faith wavered, when God's presence seemed distant and the weight of my responsibilities felt nearly insurmountable. It was during these times of doubt and uncertainty that my wife, with her unwavering faith, became the anchor I so desperately needed. She has long been the spiritual leader in our household, ensuring that God remained at the center of our lives, even when I struggled to hold on to that belief myself. Her steadfastness in God's promises provided a sense of calm that steadied me during even the most turbulent times. As I reflect on my journey of service, I realize that at the core of my commitment is a desire to lead and to positively impact others. I serve not just to protect and defend, but to ensure that those who served alongside me could grow and thrive both personally and professionally. My goal has always been to make those around me better, to help them succeed, and to carry the torch of leadership with integrity and dedication. It's clear to me now that by following God's guidance, I've been blessed with the strength and wisdom needed to serve others with a spirit of humility and compassion.
In my life as a military child, being shuffled around from state to state, country to country, wasn't all bad. In fact, I think it's a huge part of who I am today. I was able to learn so much from the people, cultures, and environments that I was in. It's taught me to be adaptable, to appreciate all of God's creation and all of the amazing people that He's put on this earth. In each place, I recognize something new about the glory of God and how He is glorified across this world.
Ultimately, what began as a commitment to my family has evolved into a broader purpose, one that honors tradition, cherishes camaraderie, and strives to uplift others. I serve because I believe in the values that bind us together and because I want to leave a legacy of service and dedication that will continue to inspire the next generation. I also know that my spiritual journey is ongoing, and I look forward to continuing to follow God's plan as I walk this path with integrity and purpose. To the younger generation, I encourage you to hold on to your dreams, stay true to your values, and never forget that you have the power to make a change. God has a plan for you, and with faith, dedication, and kindness, you can achieve great things. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen and reflect with me on the importance of service, faith, and some of the lessons I've learned along the way. Whether during my time as a soldier or now in my current role, I've always believed in the values that bind us together: commitment, teamwork, and most importantly, love for our country and for each other. For my fellow veterans, I want to say thank you for your service and sacrifice. The brave women and men who have served this nation inspire me every day. And it is because of people like you that our freedoms remain protected and our country remains strong. Finally, let's all remember that true freedom comes from the grace of God, and it is our shared responsibility to treat one another with humility, compassion, and a heart full of gratitude. Rancho Christian, thank you for having me, and may God bless each of you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.